Hey, it's me again. I left a couple of things out on the last video, and here's a couple of attempts to clear one or two things up that I left out. Um, Probably the main thing is that these panels with the earlobe always point in towards this square one. Little indications that you've got a box that is a box. This box is almost certainly not a box. And there are a couple things. One is these two items usually always go on the long sides. So I'm going to take those out. You can see I've made some shorter ones down here. And I'm going to put this on multiply so you can see through. And create a sin, something I don't like to do. I'm going to stretch that. And I've got my smart guides on so it shows me. And I'm going to go back here and put the other one on the other side and stretch that. So they've both been stretched to equal amounts. That is not the recommended way to do that, but it looks more like a box. You know, if you're going to open up a package and decide, well, do I need to cut this up and see if it is a box? The first thing is these have to be here. If they're not, you don't even have to cut it up. You know it's not a box. So these pieces face inward because they fold over and lock. And I'm going to put that in. That's okay. And blue seems to work well, showing that. And we're going to multiply that. Now, you could look at this and you could say, well, that's probably a box. It's still not a box. If you followed the first movie on telling if it's a box or not, I'm going to do the same thing and fold this over as it would be on the bottom of the box. And you can see that several things are wrong. One thing that isn't really wrong is these overlap. That's not wrong, but it's probably not what the factory is going to do. The other thing is that this line here should be below right there so that it can actually fold. And how do I know I'm changing the yellow and not the blue? Well, there's a simple answer to that. The blue goes too far. Look at this. If I put both of these on the bottom here, you'll see that these extend in a strange way. This little tongue is supposed to fit in there. So this point is supposed to meet that point. So, I'd probably, again, I would use the factory if I was going to do anything. But if I were to make a box for them to use, that would have to go there. And these would have to go in too. That's why in the previous movie I said, if these are not correct, take them out altogether. One thing this does tell you, though, is that this probably doesn't go there because this does not, the barcode does not go on one of these. It either goes on one of these or one of these. So, I don't think it matters which, but the lot number and the barcode will always go on the long panel, even if you didn't get this from the factory and you have to delete it. You know that this doesn't go here and that this doesn't go here because they go on these shapes, not the yellow shapes, not the blue shapes. Um, so this is pretty far afield from an actual box. I can't even repair this into a box because I'd have to start messing with this shape and making sure that these things fold over, and they don't, it doesn't really come too close to a box. So I would, if I were doing this, I would leave these shapes out unless I got them from the factory, or unless they were pretty darn close. This this should go to this corner most likely, you know, and so then you wouldn't use this shape, you'd use the other shape, and then you see how this folds. If this was here, this corner might, and I'm not even sure about this, but this would, be more like something like that. Even this is not correct, but you get the idea. It's, you don't want to give them something that doesn't fold into a box, but if you give them this and you know that this is under the long panels all the time, that's a pretty safe bet. And I think that's about it. That's all the pain for today.